This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to show you through your new 4-cylinder Platinum Series Salem FSX model 280 RTX. Okay, we're here on the door side of the trailer, walking towards the rear. Okay, nice big window for your garage. It's not something you see all that often. It's a very big window. Okay, moving forward, you got a power awning with lighted LED strip, outside speakers. This is just the access panel for your refrigerator. You don't really have to go in there. That's just for servicing it. You have a vent for your range hood. That's over your stove. If you're going to use this, you want to open it up right here so it flaps freely. This baffle inside flaps freely. Otherwise, you're going to just keep it closed like that. So you really only open it up when you're going to use the fan. So it vents outside, okay? That's just output plus makeup air for your furnace. We have antenna out here, just a coax, and power for a TV if you want to put one out here. This is the fill for your onboard freshwater tank. The reason you would use this, if you don't know, that is, I'll just assume you don't. You may be experienced, I don't know. But if you go like to an older state park or a state forest, somewhere where they don't have running water, like some of the older state parks do not have plumbing on the campsite, but they have a fill station when you first go into the park, well, you'd fill up your tank and then you can use the onboard water pump to pressurize your water system, and you can still use the toilet and shower and sink and everything just like you had city water. Normally you're going to be using the city water, so which is on the other side. I'll show you that when we get over there. But this is just for the times you don't have plumbing on the campsite. Okay, this is your water heater. This one works on gas. The switch to operate is inside. This is the drain plug right there. It has an anode rod on the back, so it's long. This is a vent to take the pressure out of your water tank. So before you pull the plug on the tank, you always want to let the pressure out so you don't, otherwise that thing will shoot out of there like a cannonball followed by a gallon of water. So it's good to let the pressure out first, okay? Okay, you have crank style stabilizer jacks that work with a crank or a 3/4 inch socket on a drill. This is your hitch. It's a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway. We'll show you how it works when you come to pick up the trailer, but you can always refer to the videos online at Husky Centerline, and they've got really good videos which will tell you the same thing I'm telling you if you need to be refreshed. This is just a port to hook up a solar battery charger. So if you got a solar panel to charge the battery, this is where you would plug it in. This is a Furion model or brand. Okay, you got deep cycle marine battery, and back there you can see the red key. That is the kill switch for the battery. The reason you would want to shut the battery off is when you put it in storage, and even if you shut all the lights off and everything, the carbon monoxide and LP gas detectors, for example, are hardwired to the battery, so they'll still draw energy, so you can just shut it off when you put it into storage, and you won't have that problem. Two 20-pound LP tanks. This is the LP regulator here. This is not a tank selector. This is an automatic changeover regulator. This indicator, you point it at the tank, and right now it's green, telling us that they have gas in it. If it's empty, it will turn red. So it's just to tell you whether the tank has gas in it or not. It will change over automatically. It'll draw like the door side tank down first, then the off door side tank, and back and forth. So, okay. And this is your power tongue jack, of course. Now there is a crank inside the pass-through compartment that you can actually plug in there. I hope you can see that. You can plug it in there, hook it on the hex in there, I should say, and you can actually crank this manually if it happens to fail on you. Let me line this up here. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Alrighty, around the other side. Slide out is in right now. Okay. So I mentioned that you could fill the onboard water tank on the other side. This is where you hook up your city water. You just hook your hose up to here, turn it on, and you're ready to go. That's the most common way. Just about every place will have city water. This is a sprayer port. You get a coiled sprayer that you plug in here at this quick connect here, and you'll be able to spray things down, hose down your dirt bike or your pedal bike or your four-wheeler or whatever you got. Okay, these are your dump valves. Let me close them for you. Okay, so basically this one, the black one, is for the black tank, which is toilet water and waste. The gray one is for the gray tank, which is sink and shower water. Okay. Basically you'll put your hose on here, put the other end into the dump station, and then you'll pull the black tank first and dump it. Then you'll use the gray tank, you'll pull that out and dump it. The reason you do that is because the gray water is cleaner than the black water, so it'll help clean it out. But this trailer also has a black tank flush on it, which is right here. You hook the hose at the dump station onto here, turn it on, and the black tank has jets inside, and it'll spray down the inside of the tank so you get it even cleaner. Just make sure that this valve is open when you turn on the water. It states that on the sticker too, to remind you, but you just don't want too much pressure to build up in there, okay? Alright, your power cord is 25 feet long, 30 amp. That is just for cable or satellite through to the entertainment center. There's a coax back there behind that, under that cap. This is your rear door. I think I'll open it. Let's see if we have enough room here. Yes, it looks like we do. I hope so. Well, we're going to find out here. I sure hope so. Okay. All right, I'm going to have to move the camera here because I'm holding this myself, so I don't want to. Although it does have, if you look, it does have springs to counterbalance it, so it's not real heavy or anything. I'm just using one hand. I just want to make sure I'm not going to hit anything here. Okay, so that's good. All right, so let me see here. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Okay, I know you couldn't see that very well, but there we have it. These are the patio screens that go up. You can also remove these pins on each side, obviously, and let it down to turn it into a ramp, so you can drive into it. Now, this you see that housing up there between the running lights. That's this trailer is pre-wired for a backup camera. So if you're going to get one, this is designed to take a Furrion camera. You have to get that brand that fits inside that housing. If you're interested, we sell them here. You can talk to our parts people, but you can buy them elsewhere also. Just make sure you get the one that fits in that housing. Okay. Let's see here. Let me see if I can get around to the other side without breaking my neck here. Okay. So seeing that we're at the garage, I guess we'll just go in there right now. Now your trailer hasn't been cleaned yet, so it's a little dirty, but it's next in line to be cleaned. I'm just trying to get this done. Okay, so these cushions pull off, obviously, and you can also lay the table down in the middle on these cleats here, right here, and use the other cushions to fill it in to make a big bed out of it. And they also fold up out of the way. And you can see they latch on by the windows here, so they fold out of the way. You've got a screen here for your porch, and these, I won't bother setting them all up, but you just pull the pins out, the extra pin, the one that's holding it down, and you put them up and fold it into position, and then repin it where necessary, and that's all you really do. Very simple. You have also video out and a backer plate on the wall to hang a TV back here. Okay. And some vents. There should be two of them. There should be another one over here somewhere. Well, I know there is. I just saw it. Anyway, there is another vent over there. It must be below the bed there, I guess. Okay. So the bathroom shower works like any other. The sink works like any other. This GFCI, either all the plugs in this trailer or half of them are going to be wired through this one. I won't know till I get up front. But either way, every plug in here is wired through one of the GFCIs in here. So when you reset them, even if it's a regular plug, it will reset it at one of these GF or GFCIs. Like I said, there might be another one up front. This is a pretty long trailer, so we'll see when we get up there. The toilet, if you haven't used an RV toilet before, there's the flush pedal there. That's residual water from water testing it. If you're hooked up to water, you'll come in here, you'll pull into the campsite, you'll hook up your water, you'll plug it in, then you'll take your chemical that you're using, powder, liquid, whatever you're using, you'll put it right in there. Then you'll step on the pedal and water will swirl out. You put about a gallon or two of water in there just to get it started. The bottom line is you don't want to use it without chemical and water in it. So when you first get where you're going and hook up, you do that. And then you can just flush it normally as you go. Now, when you flush it, it'll only fill right up to here with water. They do that so it doesn't slosh out when you're traveling. So there's a point here where you can, let me see if I can get so you can see it here. You can push this pedal down a little bit, but the trap doesn't open. Right there, that turns on the valve. So you can actually fill this up as full as you want before you use it. You just have to do it each time before you do it. Okay. We're coming through here to the main area. We'll send the slide room out right here. So let me change hands here. Hold on. So this type of slide is called a Schwintek slide. It's owned by Lippert now. You can tell by the two gear tracks on each side of the slide out. Each side has its own motor and they're synchronized. Okay, you just hold it till it gets out. Like so. Okay, your awning also, whoops, let me do it this way. Hold on. We'll do that in a minute. Okay, so you have a fireplace. Now you have to select between the microwave and the fireplace here. You can't run them both at the same time. It's on fireplace now. It has a remote, but we'll just use the buttons here. You can turn it on. Then you've got a timer right here. It's saying H. If you just saw that H was telling you that it's on high, or the fan's on high. It goes off, low, and high. You can change the colors here. Why, I don't know, but you can do it. And then you go to high, low, high, and off with the fan. Okay. It kicks out a lot of heat, so it's a good thing. It'll take the chill out of the trailer, and you don't use any LP using it either, like you do with the furnace. So you just use 110 AC to power it, so you can save on LP. Your radio, it's an AM/FM radio. Let me get a screen here, and you can stream off this USB here. So you can put a bunch of your albums on one USB stick and take them with you. You can hook up to this using Bluetooth. And play your music off your phone or tablet, whatever. It has two zones here. Inside zone 1 is inside, zone 2 is outside. This is an HDMI in. If you've got this hooked up through to your TV set, which has a backing plate up there, by the way, you can put it right there. You could set a Blu-ray player or a game machine or one of those combo things that does both. And you can bring it around and plug it right in there for a rainy day. Up there, you can see you got in the middle, you got the signal booster for the digital antenna. Right there, it should always be green like that to get a good picture. That's just telling you that this is pre-wired for a Wi-Fi signal booster. So there's another port on the roof for an antenna. This is where the router would hook up. Just so you know, if you're interested in it, you can go to that website, kingconnect.com, I believe it is. And we do sell them here, but you can find out about them online if you're interested. But it just gives you better bandwidth, that sort of thing. If you use a lot of Wi-Fi, it's a good thing to have. The microwave works like any other microwave. You have your vent here. I told you about the vent hood the range hood vent on the outside. You got light, fan. Okay. The oven, in order to use it, you just spark it. So let me see if I can get everything in the picture here. you just turn this to light, and then you'll spark it. You see it lit right there. And you just turn this sparker clockwise. Now, let me look down here before I say anything else so I know what I'm talking about here. Okay, so the oven sparks also. Some don't. Some you have to light with a lighter. This one sparks. So what you'll do is you'll go to the oven knob, you put it on the flame, which means pilot, and you depress it, and you hold it in. Then you'll turn the sparker until the pilot light back there, all the way to the back there, lights. After it lights, you hold this in for another 10 or 15 seconds. You've been holding it all this time, and let it heat up. And then you go to whatever temperature you choose. Let me get it to go there. Oh, let me do it this way. Aha! Isn't that something? There we go. Okay. So let's say you go to 400, and you'll let it cycle through just like a normal oven. You'll cook with it, cycling through. But when you shut it off, the flame goes out. But so does the pilot light, so you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay? Hope that made sense. The refrigerator is a Norcold. It's a gas absorption, so it'll run on LP gas or 110 AC. You turn it on auto. Auto means electric. The reason they call it auto is because if you lose power, it'll automatically switch over to gas. But on auto, it'll always seek out electricity first. So that's how you'll normally run it. If you want to pull it down the road just on gas, you can do it that way. If this ever starts flashing, you'll just shut it off and turn it back on again. It means it didn't light, and you'll let it cycle through again, and there's your temperature there. Okay, nice size freezer. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. Okay, this is your thermostat. You just push it once to light it up. Then you go rotate through. Fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. Cool is the air conditioner. Always run it on auto if you can. That's the best way to do it. There's a lag time for everything. So you're going to have to wait a few seconds in order to for it to kick on. Let me turn this down so we can get it to turn on here. There it goes. So there is a lag time, turning them on and off. So if you want to get to heat, you just go a little farther. There's heat. So there'll be a lag before the AC shuts off and the heater starts. But it'll happen. There we go with the AC. And there goes the furnace. Okay? When you shut one more time, light it up, and then push it, that shuts everything off. And as soon as you do that, the flame goes out on the furnace, but it'll still cycle through for a minute or two. Now it's telling you right here, the antifreeze inlet to winterize the trailers behind this panel. There are valves on the back of the water heater, so you can bypass the water heater. If you don't know, you cannot get antifreeze into the water heater. So when you pump antifreeze in the fall, you're going to bypass the water heater first with the valves on the back. That way the antifreeze won't go into the water heater. If it gets in there, it leaves a really foul taste and a bad smell you can't really get rid of. So you always bypass it when you're putting antifreeze into the system, and keep it bypassed as long as there's antifreeze in the system. You'll have to educate yourself a bit on that if you don't know, but it's very simple, and you can have it done, but it's also very simple. Now also, I have to tell you that you have to inspect the roof of this trailer like every other trailer. So you figure 3 times a year, you're going to go up on the roof and look around at the seals on the roof. There's a lap sealant down there that covers all the moldings and all the attachments. So you're going to inspect that, looking for cracks or separation that's starting. You might go up there for years and see nothing separating. You might have to do some touch-up work in a year. You just don't know. That's why you inspect it. So you go in the fall, and you go in the spring, and then you go up there once in the middle of the summer and check everything out and make sure everything is good and tight. That way you protect your investment and your trailer stays good and dry inside. Like I said, odds are you won't have to do anything for a long time, but you still inspect it just to make sure. Okay, you've got a kind of a Murphy bed here. It's a fold-down bed. Starts off with a couch, which is a good thing to have, because sitting at the dinette all the time gets kind of old. So to flip it down to a bed, you just fold this down and then pull the mattress out. It's very simple. This is your emergency window here. I'll just show you how it works. You You go just like that. You can use that for ventilation, obviously, but if you need to escape, you just push this through. I'm sorry, let me get that. Push that all the way through, and then you grab a hold of this red tab and pull the screen out, and you can get out that way. Okay. You got USB charge ports all over the place. Okay, let me get back over to the panel here. Let me walk out here first. Now with this trailer, the reason I stopped with the awning is this door has got to be either closed or out on a 90-degree angle of the trailer because of where the arm is at, and so does this one here. So that's something to keep in mind, especially on a windy day. So you have to have it in this position in order to put the awning out. Okay, so let's do that. So there it goes. It will roll out, and you're basically going to wait for it until you see the awning tube. So the fabric will roll out to an end, and then you'll see the tube right there, right about there. So that's completely out. Now you don't want to leave this out unattended. So if you're not going to be at the trailer, you always roll in the awning because a lot of pressure builds up underneath there and it can get damaged really quickly. These here are to pitch the awning. So you grab it. It's hard for me to do this with one hand at the camera, but you can sort of see it. You'll pitch it down like this, and then you would just tighten this knob and it'll stay in that position. Just make sure you loosen the knobs before you roll it in. So you can pitch it a little bit. Now these, I don't think I mentioned this, these steps, they're very stable, but if you're on uneven ground, you can move these. There's all sorts of holes here, and there's a pin there, so you can move the legs in and out to change the length of them, so it can, if you got a hole there or a little high spot, you can account for that, okay? Or compensate for that, or whatever the word is. Okay. The table, these two poles come out and drop these down. It lays right on there, and you put the cushions in to fill the space, and you get another bed there. So you got another bed even. The sink works like any other sink, of course. Let me see what else I've got here. Okay. All right, so the water pump that I told you about, if you use the water pump for winterizing, and if you're carrying your onboard water, if you're going to a place that doesn't have city water, you turn your pump on there, okay? The water heater lights on gas, you just do that. Always make sure there's water in the tank before you light it. You got your lights here, there's your awning light right there, okay? And you can check your levels. That's your battery. It's showing it as being totally charged, which it is, but you were plugged in. Always check it when you're not plugged in. Your fresh water tank has a little bit of water in it because we're water testing it, but it'll be empty. You can see it graduates up in 1/3 increments till it's full. Okay. Black tank is empty. Gray tank is empty. Once you get past 2/3 with the gray and black tank, you're going to have to start thinking about dumping it. Okay. All right. I think that covers it now. Let me walk through one more time. I think we did it though. All the lights that will have button in the middle too, so you can select them independently. There's all kinds of storage. Any place they can put it, they put it, just like a boat. Okay, let's go back to the garage. Okay, there you have it. You have another escape window here. And look at this, they even give you a bottle opener. Now does that just about covers everything right there. That makes it, that's worth the extra effort to put that bottle opener there. So, okay, I think we've got it there. So, if you have more questions, you can call us. We can talk you through it. Each appliance in here has its own manual, so you can learn that way. You can also just type in the model number of appliances and the brand, and you can get their website videos, and you can also get documentation. There's a lot of ways to get information, so we do it this way because of the virus. Now we have to do it this way, but it'll all work out, and like I said, we'll work with you any way we can. So thanks for buying from National RV. We appreciate your business, and goodbye.